Hey guys, Adam here with AmericanTrucks.com, and today we're taking a quick look at and installing the WeatherTech Underseat Storage in black, available for the 2019 and newer Silverado 1500 crew cabs. You should be very simply checking this out if you're looking to really optimize the space inside of your cabin to help hold some more equipment, tools, or whatever you may need in a neat, organized bin. Now this particular one from WeatherTech here is made from an extremely durable, impact-resistant, textured black ABS plastic, so it's super durable, it'll hold up over time, and it's really gonna upgrade the underseat storage area. It's specifically made to give you 4 separate compartments for some smaller to larger objects that you might wanna store in here, things like jumper cables, impact gun, maybe a socket set, some tools you may use on a daily basis if your truck is a work truck, or just some of the daily driver items you may have if you're going to work or if you're taking longer road trips on the weekends. This guy here is going to keep things organized, and the textured black finish along with the individual dividers built into the system will help keep things from sliding around. This is even going to be an upgrade for guys whose trucks may have come with the optional underseat storage from the factory. The factory one, which we'll take a closer look at side by side later on, it's a little bit smaller, much more narrow, and really is only meant for the factory items like the bottle jack and the lug wrench. Now, as you can see, even with our WeatherTech Underseat Storage installed, we still are able to tuck that right behind there, so it's not even going to take up any of the available storage in the bin itself. So this is, again, just really optimizing that space under the seats that the factory option didn't at all. And obviously, if your truck didn't come with one, it's really going to take it to that next level. This particular one here comes in right around $200. It's a pretty affordable way to really organize under that seat. And the install here, I'm going to give 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter. You can tackle this in about 30 minutes from start to finish, especially if you have that factory optional underseat storage. Got to get that guy out of the way first, removing the bottle jack and lug wrench, unbolting it, and then throwing this guy in. With that said, I'll walk you through every step of the process, even going through the strap that holds it in place to keep it from sliding. So what do you say we get started? First things first, of course, you want to start on the rear here and lift up your back seats. From there, if you have the factory optional underseat storage like we do, we're gonna have to uninstall that in order to install our new WeatherTech Underseat Storage. If your truck did not come with this option, you can skip this step and just go right onto the install. For us, we're gonna start by removing our lug pack, and then we have a couple of 10 millimeters and a Torx bolt we have to get off, and this will lift off in one piece and we'll set it aside. All right, from here we want to get our lug wrench out of the way. This is just the thumb screw, so we're just gonna twist this guy off. All right, from there we can set this guy aside. Now on our driver's side corner here, we have a T40 Torx bolt. I'm gonna use my extension and impact gun and get that guy off. Now we can get our jack out of the way. There's 2 10 millimeter nuts. I'm gonna use my extension and socket and get those off. Before we pull out the optional underseat storage that came with our truck from the factory, I want to do a quick side-by-side comparison between that and our WeatherTech Underseat Storage. Now, as you can see, the material is a whole lot different. Your factory optional one, if your truck came with one, is carpeted just like the factory floorboards, so it kind of looks very fluid with the entire factory floorboard. It feels like it's all one piece when in fact it's a separate piece. Now, one really big noticeable difference here is that the WeatherTech option is not only deeper, so it can hold a lot more in terms of volume, but it's also wider, so it covers a little bit more square footage of your factory rear floorboards. So you can hold a lot more equipment in here than you could in your factory one, which was typically just reserved for the factory lug wrench and the floor jack. Now you could probably fit a couple of other things like tie downs and whatnot, maybe jumper cables if you're lucky, but overall this is really not meant for any additional equipment that you might want to throw under there. This underseat storage from WeatherTech is definitely going to hold a lot more. It's also got 4 individual compartments. Now you can treat this as one big space, but you can see there are raised dividers along the insides there, which mean you can have smaller equipment toward the passenger side and some of your bigger equipment toward the driver's side, and it won't slide around because of those dividers. So it's neatly organized. Finally, one more thing worth noting is that it is just a couple of inches shorter than your factory option if your truck came with one, but again, it is wider, so you're still being able to hold a lot more equipment. So if I pull this toward the edge, you can see it falls short a couple of inches compared to your factory one, but again, it's gonna hold a lot more. With that said, let's toss this guy aside, throw this one in, and there is a retainer strap we want to install first, so let's get to it. All right, for the factory one, we can just lift up, make sure it comes off the studs, and set it aside. All right, so now we have our new WeatherTech Underseat Storage upwards so that we can see the 2 open slots. That's gonna help us strap it into place. Grab the strap included in the kit. I'm gonna pull off the buckle just by feeding the strap through. Just like that. From here, we're gonna feed one through the top, put your hand underneath, and help guide it back out through the bottom, just like that. Now we can feed the buckle back onto the strap. All right, just like that. Now we can tilt this back and set it into place. So now what we can do is feed this back up around the bracket holding on those seatbelt connectors and just pull it taut. All right, so now it won't move around. All right, so now we can actually just put our jack back behind it, back onto those studs, and use the factory 10 millimeters to tighten them back down. We can actually do the same thing for our lug wrench. Pop that right behind there and screw it in by hand. Okay, and this pops in just like that and you're good to go. That's gonna wrap up my review and install for the WeatherTech Underseat Storage for the 19 and newer Silverado 1500 with the crew cab model. You should get yours right here at AmericanTrucks.com.